Surya Saha. Welcome to the Insurance Story podcast, which is the platform to spread knowledge on insurance innovation, digital disruptions, and entrepreneurship. Our website, insurexstory.com, and we are available on Spotify, Apple, Google, Audible, and Amazon Music. Today, we will discuss on the topic AI-powered customer engagement strategies for insurance brokers. And for now, I'm delighted to welcome our guest, Dr. Sandeep Dadia, who is the Chief Executive Officer at Lockton India, which is the world's largest privately owned independent insurance broker. He assumed this role in February 2024, transitioning from his 12-year tenure as the CEO and Principal Officer at Aditya Birla Insurance Brokers Limited. Dr. Dadia boasts over 2 decades of experience in the insurance sector, encompassing broking, reinsurance, and third-party administration. Besides, his blend of medical and insurance expertise lends a distinctive perspective to risk management and client service, driven by a commitment to growth and innovation. He is spearheading digitization efforts across retail and commercial lines while forging strategic partnership within the industry. Dr. Dadia's exceptional leadership and performance was recognized with the CEO of the Year award in both 2021 and 2022. Passionate about sharing his wisdom, he is also an accomplished author and speaker, penning a book on his spiritual journey titled A Soul Tie. With that, Dr. Dadia, a warm welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Dadia, just to jump onto our agenda for the day, how is AI currently being used to enhance customer journey in the insurance brokering space? We really talk about AI and the insurance value chain, how insurers are really using that to increase efficiency, automate claims, and many other aspects. But what the middle part of the insurance value chain, which really brings in the agencies and the brokers, are really doing with a technology like AI? What's your take on this?
So before starting on the journey for AI or the discussion over AI, I would like to highlight a couple of things.
Yeah.
Insurance is a vast industry. It takes care of the direct business and the reinsurance business. And on the direct business side, and where Westerners call it as retail lines of business, there are commercial lines and personal lines. So personal lines have achieved a good automation, a good IT transformation, a good digitization across the globe. Commercial lines has not achieved a major breakthrough in terms of where they are in terms of the index of automation. Reinsurance is in the same shape and size. So basically, they have not been able to achieve that kind of automation, what they should have been all throughout. Now you can imagine insurance is an industry of very experienced professionals, very high-level knowledgeable professionals. Now, these are all, most of them at senior levels are at quite a senior age. So they are very high technical qualified people. But on the technology front, I believe that they still need a lot of value add which needs to be done for the industry. So with that, a broker, basically, of course, it's been widely used as brokers across the world, and that is the right word. But in India, it has been, meant a little differently, but that is not the case. Brokers are the top level professionals who are working in the interest of the client.
True.
They are giving multiple choices to the client to make a decision on what product to buy, how much to buy, when to buy, from whom to buy, what is going to be the criteria for selection of an insurer or the carrier which they are going to place the business with, what is the criteria for selection of the reinsurer, and several other things. So broker's role is significant. In fact, globally, in most parts of the world, broker plays a very, very important role. And of course, in India also, their wallet share has increased substantially to 35%. And if I see the addressable market which brokers are currently broking is nearly 50+%. So brokers are actually into the underwriting, the quotes, the placement of the risk on the commercial line side. Then also on the personal line side, they also help and facilitate the claim processing to the client so that the client does not feel any issues or, at the time of a claim. Many of the clients just say, for an example, I've got a claim of 100,000 rupees. but it's not 100,000 what he's claiming he will be getting. He'll have to prove it with a lot of documentation. So there is a very complex process which is involved, and he usually gets perturbed by the quantum of questions which are being asked, and rightly so, by the loss adjusters, or in India they are called as surveyors or the insurers.
Yeah.
So there is a complex process which a broker tries and simplifies that. Now, when I'm talking about technology, now imagine a broker who is one of the most who has one of the most complex process in developing, in actually delivering what he intends to deliver. He has to deal with the client. Now he deals with multiple sets of clients, which means he deals with multiple templates of the client's database. Then he deals with the insurance company, he deals with the reinsurance companies, and each one has got a separate way of dealing with a broker. They all need a particular formatted data in their own format to actually solve the problem. So that's where the broker's role has become extremely high in terms of what to give, how to give, how much to give, and what is going to be relevant to the insurance companies. So that has become very crucial aspect of now the new technology world.
Yeah.
Now coming to your question on the AI, there is, as you're aware, it's a highly complex process by a broker. Brokers have been smart enough to use AI, but not across. I would believe that a good amount of work has been done, but I think a much bigger amount needs to be further done. So coming to an AI on the retail lines of business, or we call it as personal lines of business, that is health and motor, there is a lot of solutions which are available in the market. Ready-made solutions are available. There are a lot of solutions which are actually allowing the insurance company or the broker to know their customer well due to hyper-personalized approach, of course, within the framework of the data privacy laws. A lot of brokers or insurance companies have been able to understand the client in a much broader aspect. How much he's going to buy, what he wants to buy, when he wishes to buy, what is logical to him to buy. So now at the time of buying an insurance, whether it is commercial lines or retail lines, most of the clients don't know what to buy. I mean, I'll give it very simple example because insurance is a highly complex subject. Now, for you, if you have to buy a health insurance policy, how much you should be buying for? Should you buy for 2 lakhs, sum insured? Should you buy 5 lakhs, or should you buy 50 lakhs or 5 crores? You do not have a data, you don't have the right approach towards choosing the sum insured. So, in terms of the AI or in terms of the analytics, I would say first comes the analytics, then would be the machine learning and the AI. A lot of thought process has gone in terms of what should be the adequacy of the sum insured, which stage of life you should be buying, what kind of insurance, which insurance will last long, who is the insurance company, finally who's going to support you at the time of a claim. Now, I'll give you an example. What you're getting by way of buying an insurance is a non-tangible product, which is kind of a contract, 5-pager, 10-pager contract, which is called as the insurance policy. Now, it is the promise which an insurance company gives you through a broker. And what do you do at the time of a claim? So based on that promise, how do you think you'll be able to encash that claim? So this is actually, it requires a lot of trust, because finally what a client receives is a non-tangible product. And of course, he receives the money at the end of the year when the claim is settled, or end of the claim when the claim is settled. He receives the remuneration of that claim or reimbursement of the amount which he has spent. So a lot of process goes in understanding and placing of the risk. Now, when a client wants 5 quotes, there are comparison engines which are available in the market. There are aggregators available in the market. There are insurance brokers who have this similar model of giving a comparison. Now, what is right for a particular age group? Which are the right kind of wordings? And if I go a little beyond or a little more complicated, well, how much a sum insured of a male which will be required at the age of 60, which is different than the age of the 40. Now, this is for the buying process. Now, imagine the selling aspect, what a buyer wants to buy. Usually, an insurance company would not want to sell because it's going to cost them a bomb when the claim has to be settled. So, the transaction of a contract happens when the buyer and the seller's demands and supply meet each other's expectation when the transaction happens. So a lot of tools which are used by the broker to sell it to the client or by insurance companies to underwrite have got streamlined, and there is a huge use of artificial intelligence, or in fact, it's more of a data crunching and machine learning which has taken place, And AI is now taking in various shapes and size across all the underwriters, or few of the underwriters and few of the brokers. So the buying process has got simpler, the selling process has got simpler, and the underwriting process also has got simpler. Then comes a time of a claim. If there is a claim, what happens? Now, for an example, if a motor vehicle has met with an accident, a survey has to be done. It used to be physically done by some surveyor. In certain parts of the country and the world, it has been replaced by a drone technology. And now the smartphones have taken over to simplify the process further. The smartphones, they have just scanned the image and send it. Now, either the broker who has got a tech solution or the insurance company who's got a tech solution, they just upload the image and they'll be able to assess the loss within no time. So because they have got the three-dimensional images which can get converted into actual data of the loss or the quantification of the loss, there are systems and algos which actually calculate the quantum of loss and the claim is being paid in record times. So of course, use of AI has actually streamlined the buying process. It has streamlined the selling process. So the customer is benefited, the broker is benefited, the underwriters are benefited because there is an AI to underwrite a product. And at the time of a claim, all three of them, there is an ease of the entire seamlessness of the process. So definitely the turnaround time has got reduced. The operational risk has gone down substantially. But yes, the dependence on the technology is significantly high. There are multiple tools which are evolving on a daily basis. And I'll just tell you, 5 years back, our OCR accuracy was not even 70%. And today we boast of 98%, 95% on the market we operate on. So a lot of things are evolving, and I think the newer and newer technology is actually evolving in a much better way to help the customers. So I believe that there is a huge role which AI has played. And now in future, a lot of role will be played by AI in terms of understanding the consumer, in terms of designing the product, in terms of underwriting guidelines to an insurance company. So there is going to be a data-driven process. A lot of smart brokers and insurers have actually started capturing the right quantum of data, because there's a lot of junk also which comes in. There's a lot of non-adequate data also which is being captured by many. But I'm saying the optimization of that data and the use of that data for the betterment of any of these processes which I spoke about has helped multiple processes to streamline and to create a seamlessness and to create a wow factor for the customer. I suppose this answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. You have, of course, touched upon some of the critical parts. So I'm a little curious that, when you really talk about the insurance brokers, right, who are really making a change when it comes to linking customer with the, insurer per se. And when a technology like AI comes in, how do you see this as scaling? Because, there may be, especially in a country like India, there will be resistance of change. There'll be a factor like cost and so on and so forth. So do you see this scaling at that level?
So I believe I think the advent of Insurtech as an industry is because of this need, which many of us have realized and we need it. Now, whether an insurance company or an insurance broking firm or any of these traditional players in the market, have they been able to develop on their own? Very few of them, yes, they are successful, but majority are not. The cost of development of these systems is significantly high. The time lag is significantly high. And that's where, what is happening is a lot of people have started to support, promote, and invest into Insurtech startups, because they are the ones who are able to give the right solution to the industry. And that's where the advent as well as the success of the industry will be. I am of a firm belief that per se, insurance companies or brokers are not very well. We are not technology companies. So, so in fact, in my case, it's a different case because we are incidentally a broker house or broking house also is what we can say from my previous avatars. And in the new avatar, I'm trying to create similar thing. So what we develop technology, and what is not where there is no possibility of creating a technology, we would rather avoid those kind of lines of business because those scales are not possible. Now, by implementing the technology, which is of course masked by a lot of data, lot of analytics, lot of machine learning tools and AI tools, there is the cost of the broker to operate in future is going down. Second thing, the operational risk of a broker or an underwriter or the client who's actually using these tools goes down substantially. And of course, the current fact is that the cost is prohibitively high for any of the small company or a mid-size or even for that matter, large companies to develop this. And that's the reason people have started using these insurtechs in a much better manner. And these insurtechs are actually trying to bridge the gap between each of the stakeholders and create a value add for all the stakeholders. So of course, that's the reason these startups who are mainly on either they're selling the server licenses or they are actually on the SaaS model, they have been able to grow substantially because of this reason.
True.
And any complex subject like insurance,
Yeah.
any complex knowledge like insurance, any complexity like the process which we have, when there is a technological solution available, I think people have started using and realizing that they have to be there. There is also a pull factor because initially it used to be sold, that technology used to be sold, and now people have realized that they need to buy technology. So I see a huge user psychology which is changing from being sold to being bought.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the real difference in insurance, right? Because it is more of or rather, it was more of a push product, and how technology is really transforming this area. That we are realizing that how where the need lies when it comes to insurance, right? So as it's normally people say, who are in the industry, it's a noble industry in general, if you see, but the practices have really made it the other way, and technology is really trying to build that up for us.
Yes.
With that, Dr. Dadia, my next question is, what are some practical tips for insurance brokers who are looking to implement AI-powered customer engagement strategies? What would be your tips for
So
that?
I would recommend, there's a lot of I would say a lot of ego is not the right word, a lot of emotions attached to, I should develop my own technology.
Yeah.
Every broker feels it that way. Every broker feels it that way, that they should be developing their own technology. However, having said that, I mean, one should not waste a lot of time in developing your own technology. Whatever is available in the market, just buy them and then decide whether you want to buy or not. Second thing, when a broker or an insurer, we are not tech firms.
Yeah.
Our business model is insurance broking or insurance underwriting. So, if we hire even say 20 people, we may have the money to hire people, but are we able to provide them a roadmap for the growth in the future? So these talent are not going to be attracted by us and they're not going to be retained by us. So the easiest solution out is that the smartest tip, or in fact, the best suggestion I can give it to the industry is hire the solutions which are already ready-made available in the market. And that is where it's actually going to help them to grow faster. Second thing, all of us are now competing with not just the peers. I mean, a broker is competing with an agent, with a broker, with an aggregator, with an insurance company. And likewise, this is the competition landscape for all of us. Now, if we are not going to be ahead of time, somebody is going to kill us. Somebody is going to disrupt us. So whatever is available, just buy it. It hardly makes any difference whether it is made by their own self, whether they have the API or whether they have the IPR or not, doesn't make a difference at all. People want to buy the best through the best. So I think the most important thing is whatever is available easily, just buy it and start using it.
Absolutely. Fantastic discussion, Dr. Dadia. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts today. A true delight to have you as our guest. I think the discussion was truly insightful, especially from insurance brokers' perspective, because even though we are in touch, we are using them on a day-to-day basis, especially in a country like India and Southeast Asian region. We hardly really talk about how they function, what are the benefits of having them, where technology can better play a role to enhance their services, and so on and so forth. And with that, again, Thank you very much, Dr. Dadia.
I would just like to say one thing. These are purely my
Please.
personal views and not the company views.
Absolutely. So these views, just to reiterate, it's completely Dr. Dadia's and not of any organization that he may represent. And lastly, to wrap this up, you are listening to the Insurance Story podcast, and see you at our next episode. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye for now.